Hello everybody, I'm on the Lady Angela in Nassau, and we just took a break from the Oceanic where the rest of the NSD team are, and we had the most thrilling week with our NSDs. Well, you know, the first day here is we welcomed everybody to a reception aboard the Oceanic. We presented each person with something new. I went out and made some jams with the A.O. Williams logo, and everybody got some jams. They're all excited about this. Then everybody, the men and women, got their A.O. Williams beach cover up. That was a real hit. And of course, I think the classiest thing we did here was I modeled the new A.O. Williams sports coat. Every night I went out where all these people were dressed up in their ball gowns, you know, and their black ties and all that kind of stuff. I wore my A.O. Williams coat, and this is just one of a kind. Ain't but one of these in the whole world. See, my blood is filled with A.O. Williams. I just love this company more than I can tell you. I'm so proud of the moment. Y'all get ready. This is going to be a great Monday morning. You're going to be able to live a little bit what the NSDs lived this past week down in the Bahamas. We'll never put a top on people's opportunity to always earn more. I think if we ever do that, the A.O. Williams dream begins to die. And I believe a company grows by giving its giants a chance to go out there and plow new ground, you know, and bust new records. Mike did over 550 sales in his base shop. Bob Turley's produced 9 NSDs now in the last 4 months. How important is it for somebody like you to have another goal to shoot for, and do you plan to go out and get 12?
Yeah, I definitely do. I like to compete.
Do you need another goal to shoot for? Do you appreciate A.O. Williams, you know, giving you something else?
I think we always appreciate new goals. I can't imagine though being A.O. Williams and not being motivated and having goals.
You know, I've got 2 legends in A.O. Williams with me right now. Mike Sharp has to be probably the most dynamic leader in the company the last couple, 3 months. Mike produced over 550 sales in his base shop. He's produced 7 NSDs in the last 2 or 3 months. He's become a senior national sales director, you know, just absolutely incredible. We've never had anybody do as much in a short period of time as what Mike and his fabulous team are doing out in Pasadena. Also, Ed Randall. I think over the last year, probably Ed has been our greatest leader overall. And if not the greatest leader, he certainly had that once-in-a-lifetime kind of year where he was doing great. He and Barbara were making big money, becoming financially independent, and all of a sudden, Ed didn't want to be good. He wanted to be great, you know, and he wanted to really compete in A.O. Williams and make a contribution and help carry the company to new heights. And Ed was named the comeback of the year on the NSD team for 1987. He was promoted to my personal inner circle, and it's just incredible what you 2 giants have done in A.O. Williams. Let me ask you, what's your secret? Ed, in July, you had no NSDs. You promoted your first one. Over the last 6 months, you promoted 10 more, a total of 11 NSDs. What's your secret?
Well, Art, we had 1 NSD, and we hope to end up this year with 11 or maybe even 12. But I think we kind of got sick and tired of being sick and tired, Art. We sat down, made some goals. In fact, we were laughing about it. We invited every one of these people into the home office back in March and put soon-to-be NSD T-shirts on them, you know. And Bo Adams had a little fun with that when he walked in the room. He said, "You must be kidding, not this crew." And we weren't kidding. We were really dead serious about it. Today, I think all of those people are going to be there. We really got a mindset. We were going to win this year. We wanted it bad.
So I think what you're saying, Ed, is that leaders expect people to win. You know,
Right.
dadgummit, if you play with Coach Bryant over at Alabama, you knew Coach Bryant was going for national championship every year.
Right.
You know, his guys performed a little bit better, and people have got to see themselves as RVPs, see themselves as NSDs, see themselves making $100,000 a year many months before it begins to happen. So I think you begin to sell your people on the dream, you know, that it can happen to you. The time's right for you to go for it. Dadgummit, A.O. Williams was built for people like you. Don't you think you ain't good enough to have a great position and be an NSD and go on the NSD cruises and make $100,000 a year? This company was built to give people like you that kind of opportunity.
No question about that. And of course, once folks. One of them makes it. Troy Ratcliffe was the guy that broke out of the mold first, but then everybody just started. It was like a landslide. Boy, it was unbelievable how the momentum kept up. I think we're going to ride it all through 1988. It's the other thing is, Art, we started setting a real high expectancy of people in a defined period of time. I think that had an awful lot to do with our success. We didn't say someday or we hope and that kind of thing. We really got pretty specific and said, you need to be an NSD by a certain date. And boy, people started saying, oh, well, maybe I can do that. And Mike and I were talking about it earlier. It's just getting everybody prepared mentally.
Mike, what you've done the last 2 or 3 months, honestly, I would have thought it could not have happened. I mean, it's just almost unbelievable, what you've done. What really was the secret, if there's any such thing, to your success?
Well, we had such a great group of guys, and I think it was a long time coming. Once we decided that we could do it, and I'll tell you, we had to cross a mental barrier. I mean, we really did. I mean, it was hard for me to even say 500. It was hard for them to either. But once we came out of the gate and we could smell it, I got to tell you, these guys performed like I have never seen at any time in my career. They were hungry. I mean, they wanted to do it for pride. They really wanted to be the best. And I think the thing that came out of it the most was is how they think about themselves now and how they view themselves. Instead of just being some people that are just hanging in there and there's a bunch of them who are doing well. Right now, I mean, they feel like absolute butt kickers. I mean, they're going to go on and win and be successful in this business. And we challenged each one with a goal that they were capable of doing. I mean, one guy would have a goal of 25 sales, another guy would have one of 5. But that's just where they were in the business, and we expect them to deliver on that. And I got to tell you, everybody delivered. It was just
Mike, when you talk about 550 sales, I mean, I can see somebody in the audience saying, "Well, Mike Sharp, boy, he's coming out great. It's 550 sales, and Mike's making $200,000 a month, and nobody else is making any money, nobody else is having success." But Ed, pushing up people is a way of life, and the way you make 500 sales in your base shop is to get other people going after their goals, like you say, 5 sales or 25 sales or a regional manager promotion or an RVP promotion or an NSD promotion. Out of this 550 sales, is Mike Sharp the only guy that got promotions and the only guy that made big money?
No, I'll tell you, you're not going to get that kind of business in your base shop if your people don't believe like this is a pathway to some real success for them, and they see it. I'm also so proud of the first generation RVPs. As long as you can point to a string of them and say, look what these guys are doing, look what they're doing. They learned that in this base shop. People want to stay there and keep building it, and they're growing like crazy. But no, we have promotions, people making money. They are awful.
Well, it's a dadgum team, what you and Ed developed. Like Ed had his meeting and he said, look, soon to be NSDs. He created T-shirts. He developed a mindset and expectancy in his guys. And that's great leadership to me. I mean, A.O. Williams does not believe in this plantation mentality, where y'all go out there and make money for me. You go out there and prospect and sell and recruit so I can make my millions out of this thing. We believe in getting the whole team together, and dadgummit, we want you to win. We want you to make whatever you want to make out of this thing, part-time or full-time. We want you to go get your promotion, and by everybody rallying around and getting their own goals identified, that's when you create this flood of momentum.
I don't really think you can just sit there and work for money. Halfway through the month, some guy came into the office and looked at me and says, man, you're going to make a lot of money this month. And I looked at him with a blank look on my face. I thought, that was not on my mind. I mean, it was going for the record. It was for win. I mean, that's what's on the mind. Making the income in A.O. Williams is just a product, a result of doing everything else right. And once you look at it in reverse, the money's not going to come if you start thinking about just making money.
Hey, Ed, what would you say to guys out there now that are just totally frustrated, what can they do to start a new surge?
Well, Art, it's an attitude thing. We've known that, but I really think that if you'll sit down and you can't game plan every little effort, but you can sell your people on the fact that something great can happen here. We really identified those things, what it meant to be an NSD, what it means to be an RVP, SVP, because we feel like that you got to get that promotion cycle going at every level. But I think it's getting a team together. You used to call us together every 6 weeks back when we were small, and that fired me up. It sold me the dream. I think we've got to keep this dream selling thing going big time. And you don't worry too much about all the little details. I mean, people come and say, well, how are we going to do it? Well, I don't know that Mike knew, for example, exactly how he was going to get 500, more than 500 apps out. I had no idea exactly how we were going to promote 10 or 11 NSDs. But you get that thing going, and you know one thing, you're going to reach that goal somehow.
Well, one thing I'm hearing you and Mike say that excites me is I do believe leadership is everything. And so you rallied your team around, and you did sell them the dream. You said, right, dadgummit, the time's right. We're going into A.O. Williams 2 now everything's in place. Now, don't miss the dadgum boat. If you ain't got something better to do, long range for your family, give this thing a heck of a dadgum shot, and see if it'll pay off for you. Don't go out there and be a half butt, really go for it and see if this thing will work for you. And so you challenged Mike, you set some short range goals, you resold the dream. And one thing I heard you say that I think we need to remind ourselves of over and over again is you've got to resell the dream. I mean, you can sell the dream and get them motivated, and they go out there and they miss a dadgum sale, or they have a charge back or something like that, and all of a sudden that dream disappears. And I was talking to Mike Sharp a couple of weeks ago. Mike was saying, Art, I've been spending every night about 11 o'clock on the telephone just calling my guys. How you doing this week? What? And then if they're down in the dauber, then you're going to pick them back up. This thing will work. I've been there. I understand what it's like. Dadgummit, don't give up on yourself. Come back. Fight. It ain't supposed to be easy. It's just supposed to be worth it.
That's absolutely right. Everybody, when they have those goals for the month, they start out, they usually don't hit it right, and they want to get depressed and slow down and restart the next month. I told them, there's no tomorrow. This is the only month there is. When you hit that stone wall, you're going to get up and climb over that stone wall. You're not going to lay down. We need every person on the team. And what happened out of that, I had one guy tell me, he says, Mike, it's the first time in my life I started for something, I hit that wall, and it's the first time I went over it and didn't retreat and restart. He says, I always wanted to know what it felt like to be a winner, and now I know. You got to help him get over that. You've got to help him get over that.